What are those things that are worth knowing in open and distance learning that we need to know as we prepare to deliver the CCMAS in an online environment? That's the question for this lesson. Today is the 14th day of June 2023. As you recall, I gave the welcome video earlier in the day, and did you notice that see, I had the red cap on and then the blue and now the white. You can see we are doing well. Maybe small, you know. So we'll get on with this. Let's go ahead to see those things that are worth knowing about. Open and distance learning. Let's go, my people. Let's go. So here are the things. Here are the things worth knowing about open and distance learning. Again, I'm Peter Okebukola, and the day still remains June the 14th, 2023. Now, the philosophy of the training for this CCMAS online training knows that, or is pitched around the understanding that we have a range of participants in this class. We have DICTs and AUC staff that are in the ODL, Open and Distance and E-Learning department, headed by engineer Dr. Kayode Odedino. These people, they have expert knowledge. They be Mr. and Mrs. Sabi, they sabi the thing well. But on the other hand, we have some that are not so IT savvy. And we have a mixed bag now of those who know and those who do not know as much as those who know. So what we are intending to do, that's the pedagogical philosophy of this training. We have to proceed at the pace of the slowest learner. Now, if the DICTs and AUC ODL staff figure that they already know the thing, they can go and rest now. But I tell you, it is good to let us proceed at the rate of the slowest learner. And we're going to avoid scary jargons, because the idea is to bring us all up to the same level at the end of the day. So I want to encourage you that you should also adopt this philosophy when you are training other staff in your university. We are not just training you, we are doing train the trainers. So you will be trainers, 3 of you. You now get to your university with about 3,000 academic staff or 100 or whatever it is and train them. We want you to adopt this philosophy. So we say, hey, things worth knowing, but everything is worth knowing in ODL. But as it is said, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the other. So there are some things that we believe are more important for you to know when you are delivering CCMAS online. So those are the things that we have selected. And what are those? What are those? 20 of them. Andragogy, asynchronous learning, blended learning, and all these ones here. So these are the things that we've selected that we think are worth knowing in these practical skills for delivering CCMAS and online environment. So let's begin with ODL. How does it operate? Can the quality be the same as non-ODL? What are the challenges? How do we address the challenges? Let's look at, you said open and distance. So let's take the open. The open means removing the barrier. Look, the gate is open. Everybody coming. So no restrictions on time, no restrictions on place of study. And you can see the logo of the #1 open university in Africa, National Open University of Nigeria. Learn at any place. We day for market. We day for correctional centers. Prisons, yes. We're training them there. Anywhere. So that's open. We are open. The concept of open means that no restriction and at your pace. So open education actually emphasizes the right of the student to make decisions. But you know, I just laugh. Make which kind of decision? For CCMAS, yeah, you can make a decision, but you see, these are the extreme end of that spectrum. Individualized rates of progression, independent study, vertical grouping, unstructured open plan schools, and unstructured time and curriculum. Good. These are attributes of the open education phenomenon. But for CCMAS, there are restrictions. So it's just like saying true federalism. True federalism. That's an ideal world. This was an ideal world for us in CCMAS, but we're going to move closely towards a part of the spectrum that can tolerate. So we've done with open. Open means, at your time, just take it easy, and you will spend 50 years graduating, I tell you. But CCMAS, there's a limit to. So that's the openness is restricted. Restricted open. That's the one. That's what I think. Distance. Physically separated. That's all it means. Distance. I am delivering this lecture, this lesson in Lagos. You are everywhere. The University of Sambisa. No, I don't think we have one there. And universities all over the place. And you are going to get this lesson. And so we are physically separated, but teaching and learning taking place via using telecommunications and other media. So when we merge it two, we say open and distance education. So an alternative approaches which can distance education methods and open learning. So merging the two to deliver education and training. Now that takes us to modes of that delivery. We're talking about things worth knowing about ODL. One of the things, among others, that is worth knowing is the mode of delivery. It can be single mode. Just your university, you come to class, the students are there, face-to-face, fixed thought. You know that one. Or you don't need to see nobody, no face-to-face. Single mode virtual, just strictly online. You have that mode in quite a number of countries in Europe and North America, but not here. But it is for a setting, for delivering CCMAs, the dual mode is better, where you blend them, blend single mode online and single mode face-to-face. And you can now slide it along this, like I can see here. So you have blended learning. Blend, like putting tomatoes and pepper together, onions, blend them, blend face-to-face with virtual. So you can slide this thing to the left, more of face-to-face than virtual. Nobody is going to arrest you for moving it to as far away as this, or you move it back to this. If you recall that during the COVID-19 period, we shut down face-to-face. So we had to move to virtual. And then we're moving, the lessons learned are now telling us that we need to blend. So that's why this CCMAS training is important for you to learn and me to learn also how you can deliver the CCMAS in a virtual learning environment. The challenge is though, erratic power supply. See, in the morning when I was preparing the video for the welcome, lost power, and we had to go get petrol. Do you know the 25-liter can? I said, I better put up this thing because it was consuming my money. You know, I'm a retired man. I know don't earn salary, nothing. So the the cost of electricity is something else. So that's going to affect this. And the internet challenge, internet challenge, poor reading culture. Youth say go and read this thing, they know they read nothing. But I'm just exaggerating. They're improving their reading culture. They're the practical subjects. Okay, you want to do some work on lathe machine or do something, some redox reaction, practicals in chemistry. How are you going to do it? But you see, there are solutions. Those are virtual laboratories. I recall that in 2001 and 2002, we will mean a couple of universities. The National Universities Commission, when I was Executive Secretary, we facilitated that link between MIT and a number of our universities. If, for instance, what happened was we had the MIT iLab, Internet Lab. We did the practicals from the other end, and it worked. So these things can work. And then you have crooked tendencies in an ODL environment, plagiarism. With this ChatGPT, of course, that one had trouble, and academic fraud, inadequacy of trained personnel to run the system. That's what we're doing now, so that all of us will have some basic knowledge and skills in delivering CCMAS in the ODL environment. And there's a perception that ODL certificates are inferior, but that's not all. So these are the other things that are worth knowing. Andragogy has to do with, I mentioned it, teaching the adults, like in our universities. Pedagogy has to do with general teaching. No matter how I pronounce this thing, it's pedagogy, not pedagogy. When I hear pedagogy, my body the shiver, is pedagogy, by the way. So it is andragogy. This one has to do with general teaching, but in a number of cases, you can restrict it to say teaching children. Blended learning, distance education. What I'm going to do is to give you a book that has been published by the Commonwealth of Learning. It's a shareware. Let me just get the book. So this is the book, free to share, open and distance learning, key terms and definitions. So these are the terms and the definitions are here. You're going to love this. Mind you, well, our test will be some of these key things to learn that we'll be bringing out for you. So just to make this video to be short, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to send this to all participants in the class to look at. So you will get the full definitions of all of this: open and distance learning, open educational resources. Yeah, I have several videos on this. If you go online, just say video Peter Okebukola and put any of these things there. I have videos on all of this. Quite a number on open educational resources. As you can see, this OER, not OER with an S. Whether open educational resources, OER, open educational resources is OER. Open learning, pedagogy, synchronous learning, virtual learning environment. That's what we're going to be doing from tomorrow, from practical number 1. Let's look at synchronous and asynchronous. I like this. You see, what we're doing now, you are not seeing me. I'm recording the video, and at your time, you then use it. So we are not learning at the same time. You are not learning, and I'm not teaching at the same time that you are listening to me. Like if you had a Zoom session where you are all in class, it's going to happen though. So that one is real time. At the same time, I'm teaching you face-to-face is also synchronous. But when it is outside the time that I'm delivering it, then it is asynchronous. Let me even check the pronunciation of this. And I'd like to encourage you also to do what I want to do now. If you are not too sure about how the word is pronounced, then you go check it online. How? See it. I've just Googled pronunciation. Just type pronunciation, then the word you want. Asynchronous. All right. So it's a British pronunciation. So you just come here.
Asynchronous.
Asynchronous. Me I know if you call them like that too. Me now you remember.
Asynchronous.
Asynchronous. Asynchronous. What I want
asynchronous.
Asynchronous. So let's look at the pedagogy one. Pedagogy. Yes, pronounce it pedagogy. All right. So let's see what is pronounced as British pronunciation.
Pedagogy.
Pedagogy. So my dear brothers and sisters, not pedagogy, please.
Pedagogy.
Now you word now as a pronouncer, we will pronounce it too. Yeah, so back to this. Synchronous, students learn at the same time, communication happens in real time. Asynchronous, students learn at different times, communication is not live. But it's possibly more convenient and flexible. Of course, this is right, like I'm doing. When the practicals are out or when this video is out, at your convenience, you can listen to it. So I will talk about blended learning before. And like I said, it's a combination of online and face-to-face learning experiences. Distributed learning, this has to do with enabling teachers, learners, and content to be different places and for engagements to happen independently of time and space. Before I go, now I really love this slide. ODL, that's the beauty of it. Instead of having to fit our lives around study, we can make study fit around us. That is what we're about in this wonderful course. That brings us to the end of our lesson on things worth knowing about open and distance learning. That brings us to the end also of the lessons that are not practical, because from tomorrow, the 15th day of June 2023, we're going to start with practical number 1 on how we can build a website using Google Sites. Until then, I'm wearing the black cap now. Bye-bye.